Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Phlinger, and today we're going to be talking about taming effectiveness. I've got a lot of comments about what it does, how to raise it, how to lower it, certain things about what all it does. All right, so there's two different types of taming in Ark. Well, there's actually three, but for taming effectiveness, we really only need to talk about the first two. There is active taming, or a lot of times people will consider it knockout taming. And there is also passive taming, which is usually crawling up behind things and then sticking something up their butt. All right, but today we're going to be talking about those two. There's also another one, which is hatch taming, which really doesn't have too much to do with taming effectiveness. There is a few things, and I'll try to cover those if I can get around to that, but I'm trying to keep the video a little bit short and not rant. All right, so when it comes to taming effectiveness, for the most part, it primarily deals with active tames. It does deal with passive tames, but as long as you can get their preferred food, you will be fine. And I will get a little bit more into that here as we go. Now, I've already had a couple different takes of this video as to the Dillo and the Iguanodon that are over there. But now, what we're going to do, we're going to need a willing volunteer or an unwilling volunteer in the form of this trike. All right, so he's already out, and he has a level 10 trike, so he will be absolutely perfect. So now you'll see, as you go up to this guy, you will see that he is unconscious. He has an unconscious meter loaded right here as the music is going and is playing for no real reason. All right, so this guy. I swear there wasn't a Therizina there. There never was a Therizina there. The Therizinosaurus was a figment of your imagination. Right, Dodo? Okay, so now that we are not going to be disturbed, all right, we have this unconscious meter. Now, this unconscious meter is directly tied into its torpor right here. So every single dinosaur that you knock out will have a torpidity meter on it right here that will be directly tied into this. So you can see that while this guy has 385, even if he had 3,800, it would still have this bar right here, and this pink bar would still go down in proportion to it. So now, now we've got that, let's actually go get a few berries that we can stick on this guy, so where we can use this for a demonstration. All right, so now that we put this on, and since it is not his preferred food, which we will get around to that, all right, his taming will slowly be going up, but also his taming effectiveness will be going down because what food you give him will determine how much taming effectiveness they lose for every time they eat that food. So we put measure berries in his inventory, and they are very far removed from his preferred food, so every time he takes a bite, he's going to be losing a little bit of taming effectiveness. He's probably losing 0.03 or something like that right now, and it will eventually show up and lower it down to 99.7 once it hits that mark. And every time they lose taming effectiveness, they will begin to lose levels. On a 150 dino, a max level dino, they will start out with plus 75 levels, and every time they eat, they will lose some. And chances are, you will not be able to get 100% tame. 100% tame in this game is extremely rare, and you can only use it on really high taming rates. That's really one of the only times you can ever get it. On a 1.0 taming rate for a server or a game, the chances of you getting 100% tame, they're almost nil. You will almost always get 99.4, which means that a perfect tame on those servers is going to be plus 74 levels. And there's a Dillo coming up, and I need to get rid of it. All right, now that this guy, we have taken his food, now that we've taken his food and he has nothing in his inventory, his taming effectiveness and his taming meter are going to be going down. All right, now, if he were to take any damage after, say if we were going to be knocking him out and we shot one too many shots on this guy, or we accidentally hit him, his taming effectiveness is going to go down quite a bit. And I want to make sure that trike over there wasn't going to aggro. So his taming effectiveness is going down. He's now at 88.9. We can lower it down to 80.2. And each time he takes damage, he's going to be constantly losing taming effectiveness, which is in direct relation to the amount of bonus levels they get. Now, these bonus levels, say if you were to tame him up and he was a level 150 and he got plus 74 levels, those levels are going to get randomly distributed among these stats. Yes, the health, stamina, oxygen, food, weight, and melee damage. Those are the ones. In torpor, it will just be raised in relation to his level, so that won't get random levels added into it. All right, but 150 dinosaur has less torpor, overall torpor, than a 224, which is a perfect tame after it's been tamed. There's a trike coming over here. All right. Okay, so now how do we reset this? Well, the only way to reset his taming effectiveness or to raise his taming effectiveness is to let him sleep off his nap. So we're going to give him a little bit of stimulants to help him on his way and get over his nap. Now, it's important that while we're doing this, we don't have any food in his inventory. And you will notice that his food is going to be lowering. All right? And this is what you call starve taming. This is a really effective way of taming. It doesn't change the outcome. It just makes it so where if they got hit by something and they lowered their taming effectiveness, then they will we can actually reset their taming effectiveness. Or if we wanted to, we could just starve him out completely and then put food on him at the very end, which is actually a very good tactic. Say if you're out on a mountain or something like that and you're worried about it being hit, you don't want to waste your kibble on it. Yeah, that's probably one of the easiest ways of doing the starve taming, as to where it's more effective. You throw it on the very last moment after they've got a bunch of food missing, and they almost instantly tame up as soon as they can eat the stuff. Now, this guy right here, he's going to be getting up here in a sec, but this other trike over here, he's going to aggro, so I need to remove that while this guy gets up. And what trike? Oh, there was never a trike. We were worried about nothing. All right, so now that this trike is out, now what we want to do, we want to knock him back out. Bam. Now you will notice that now that he is back out, his food stat has remained the same as when we first originally had him, because he hasn't eaten anything yet, but his torpidity is back up, and then also you will notice once we put food on him, his taming effectiveness has been reversed all the way back up to 100%. That is the only way of raising taming effectiveness once it has been lowered. All right, now I'm going to take this off him because you have outlived your usefulness. I am sorry. You have a nice nap, or, you know, you can wake up and go about your business, but afterwards, Dilla will probably come and eat you. But have a good time. I'm going on the rest of the video, and you have a good nap, sir. All right, now we will talk about Dillos. All right, well, any kind of carnivore. Now, because the trike was an herbivore, and the herbivore, well, you cannot force feed it to heal it up while it is unconscious, but carnivores, you absolutely can. See this right here? We did 30 points of damage to this guy. Now, if we immediately throw meat on him and we start force feeding him, we can actually heal him up before he even needs to take his first bite, which is kind of important. So if you have a tame that you've been working at for a while, and you just can't get the sucker to go to sleep, you have a crossbow that you're trying to knock it out, and crossbows do a lot more damage than trank darts, then chances are whatever you're trying to knock out is going to be damaged. Now, if you can get to it and throw a bunch of meat on it before its food goes down below that 50-point mark where it's going to need to eat a bite, you can just force feed it and heal it all the way back up, which is kind of important. Will help you out quite a bit. All right, but now the same thing as this guy. So he will have, here, let me show you. He will have 99% taming effectiveness because that was his first bite, and we're using meat, and meat is horrible, so it lowered it by an entire 1%. But that is how that works. And also, this guy right here, just like the other one, if we want to remove this, if we want to get, this damage back up, we want to start beating him and getting him up and going, get his taming effectiveness down to 0. It's just taking a while with just punches, but it's going to work. This guy's stubborn. He really wants to be tamed. All right, well, we've got 191 points of damage into him. We've got food in him. Now, if I were to put the food on him and actually heal him back up, it would tame him. And we don't want to tame him. So now we just have to let him wake up and then hope that he... and then hope that we can actually knock him back out. Now, I am using shocking trach darts on a long neck, which is absolute overkill, and I know for a fact that will knock him back out, but that right there is how you do it if you want to heal them up, and then while maintaining their taming effectiveness. Yeah, that's how you do it. All right, but now with this guy right here, we're kind of in a pickle because I punched him. I've lowered him down to 16.4% taming effectiveness. His food is up, but you will notice that his taming is slowly lowering because he doesn't have his food in him. But his food is going down, which means, say, if we were going to take and put kibble on him, the moment we knocked him back out, he would tame up with one bite and he would be absolutely amazing, and he would eat it right away because he has plenty of food in his inventory to be able to dip it up. All right, let's let this guy wake up, and apparently he's gonna need... Here, you wake up, dude. And I'm gonna demonstrate this for you as well. All right, now he's back up and he is mad at us. And now he is back asleep and he is still mad at us. All right, but now you notice that his food stayed the exact same. He took all the corresponding damage from the attacks that we gave him, but if we were just throw this on here, he'll tame up right away. Even on this. Watch this. Bam. One more. And there he goes. We have our own Dillo, which is the most amazing Dillo to ever Dillo. He is glorious. And we killed him so fast, he still has the shocking trach dart stuck to his forehead. All right, now we will talk about passive tamings. You're level 20, and we're just going to use a couple lister sources for our example. Now, with them, they're passive taming, so you can use put their taming in. Normally, I would use Mesopithecus. Mesopithecus tend to walk around a lot, and lister sources would be perfect. So it's kind of a nice little bonus that we've got them up here at the red obelisk. All right, so these guys right here, it says put taming food in last slot to feed. Now you go up to it, you grab. We're just going to use measure berries. Now, if you use the preferred food, it's going to be taming up a lot faster. And these guys' preferred food is rare flowers. I'm not going to use them because I don't want to tame them in one go. So now we go like this, bam, we go like that 20.2 effect taming, and then we have 99.8, which is actually pretty good. If we were to use rare flowers, he probably would have tamed up in one rare flower and would have given us 100%. That's the only way to get 100% is one eat. If they have to go for a second eat, they're gonna lose the 100%, unless if you're on increased rates. Yeah. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to follow this guy around, and we're going to be waiting for his food to actually lower. Now, if we go up in here and we actually go into the tracking tab and we go, let's see, tames in progress. Bam. All right. We've still got that. We've got the lister source. We can highlight this guy, and we can actually see his food is lowering. Now, once his food actually lowers a little bit, then we'll be able to feed him. But this right here is really the only way of testing or showing exactly where their food's at. Now, I should be able to give him a measure berry at this time, but passive tames, where'd you go? That's not the right one. Where'd your buddy go? Oh, here he is. But, okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, we can go ahead and give him another one. Now we can just track him again if we wanted to, but you don't really have to do this because once they eat the first time, chances are their food's going to be going down much faster. Passive tames, the first feed always takes a long time because their food doesn't go down super fast and until you give them the second feed. Once you give them the second feed, it's like usually maybe 15 to 30 seconds in between each feed. It works out really well. Now, this guy right here, yeah, he's already ready on the second feed. Some things take a long time. Tusoteuthis generally take quite a long time to get that second feed. So do Basilosauruses, which are passive tames as well. Mesopithecus can also be kind of finicky, although I've noticed in Ark Survival Ascended that they're not nearly as finicky as they were in Ark Survival Evolved. Now, when it comes around to raising that taming effectiveness, there is no way of raising this taming effectiveness. If we were to stop taming this guy right now, he would starve to death, because we've already started the tame. That's what happens with passive tames, is that now that we've actually triggered his feeding process and the passive tame mechanic, we've started it, his food is going to just be constantly lowering now because he's expecting food. If we were to just leave him alone, he would die. Yeah. Same thing with every passive tame. If you just leave them alone, they'll just die. If you were to like feed a max level 2 Toothus and then just leave it, it would eventually starve to death. It would take a long time, but yeah. Or somebody could come up to it and be like, "Oh, why can I tame this guy so fast?" That's because you started the tame and you left it. All right, but now that we've got this guy, we can just pet him because he is such a good boy. We're probably just going to leave him here, but that right there, that is taming effectiveness for when it comes around to the active taming and the passive taming. Active taming, you can reset the taming effectiveness. Passive taming, you cannot. Now, when it comes around to hatch taming, or hatching a dino egg and then raising it up that way, there's really not a taming effectiveness mechanic per se when it comes around to increasing the viability and the strength of your creatures that way. It's basically just how well can you imprint on them to raise their stats that way. All right, so hey, that's taming effectiveness. I hope the video helped you out. I condensed it down to a shorter version from the last time. So hey, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. I really appreciate it. If you're new around here, subscribe. And until next time, this is Phlinger, and take it easy, everybody.